So, what do you, yes, you, dear listener, have in common with Tesla's new Roadster? Any ideas, any guesses? Take a moment, consider. Anyone? No? Well, okay. Spoiler alert. You're both fast. So fast, in fact, the new Roadster, depending on whether or not you have the SpaceX cold gas thruster package, can go 0 to 60 in less than 2 seconds, or maybe closer to 1 second, which is about as fast as you go 0 to sorry that never happens. I don't even understand what that was meant to mean. So, big news on Tesla's very low volume, ridiculous, over the top, massive flex, the Roadster. From Musk, tonight we radically increased the design goals for the new Tesla Roadster. There will never be another car like this, if you could even call it a car, as opposed to a spaceship. And Musk was on a tear, and I mean a tear in this thread. It's a Tesla-SpaceX collaboration. Now, we do know in the past, SpaceX and Tesla have shared talent, in particular engineers and material scientists, but this is a genuine collaboration. So calling it a car may not be super accurate. It probably is going to be something in and of itself. Now, this is important. Production design is complete. It will be unveiled at the end of this year, and Tesla is aiming to ship next year. So in the background, Tesla's been quietly working away at this project, presumably with a very small team, and you know what? Kind of makes sense. You know that whole, what's it called? The doorstop on wheels? The kid's drawing of a car? The ugliest thing I've ever seen? Cybertruck, now ramping up, featuring some next level technology, 48 volt architecture, steer-by-wire and so on. Guess what? Now that Tesla's figured some of this stuff out, I personally think that some of the team that were figuring out Cybertruck, finalising that, then moved over to wrapping up the next gen Roadster. And we hadn't heard a peep from Tesla on this product until now. Musk also adding this. I think it has a shot at being the most mind-blowing product demo of all time. Sawyer asked, still targeting a 0 to 60 time of around 1 second with the fastest spec? Musk replies, 0 to 60 miles an hour in less than 1 second. And that is the least interesting part. What the actual fuck? Tesla owner Silicon Valley. Can it fly a little? Musk replies with emoji that speaks volumes. Back in 2018, Musk posted this. He recently bumped with some more comments. Thought I'd read it for some context. The SpaceX option package for the new Tesla Roadster will include around 10 small rocket thrusters arranged seamlessly around the car. Fucking hell, dude. I mean, oh my God. I mean, how deep into a DMT trip did you have to be to think of this vehicle? I'm just kidding. Musk would never. These rocket engines dramatically improve acceleration, top speed braking, and cornering. Maybe they will even allow a Tesla to fly. Now, this is absolutely insane, but also important. If you have a vehicle that is stupidly fast, there does become a bit of a safety issue around handling, traction, and braking, right? If you've built a rocket ship on wheels, the risk of a cataclysmic collision, flying off the road, etc., is real. However, if you have surrounded the vehicle with small rocket thrusters, these could potentially actually assist in handling on tight corners at high speeds, and of course braking, and even in emergency situations. A computer on wheels, aka a Tesla, is capable of doing 250 miles an hour plus and accelerating at stupid rates. The kind of people who buy this vehicle and push it to its limits are the kind of people who sometimes go beyond the limits of technology, right? Tesla always aims to make the safest vehicles ever. So I suspect that surrounding the vehicle in the thrusters is not only for ridiculous performance, but also a key safety feature. Time will tell. Musk continued, 19 years ago, when my first company got bought, I had to decide between buying a house in Palo Alto or a McLaren F1, best car ever in my opinion. It was no contest. I bought an F1 and a small condo that was much cheaper than the car. The new Tesla Roadster will exceed all gas sports cars in every way. Musk bumped this thread today with, you will love the new Roadster more than your house, and hopefully not also wife. Also, just wanted to share this. February 19th, Musk posts, Tesla will never make a concept car that doesn't become reality. A week and a half later, the update on the Roadster. Now, this is not a coincidence. In fact, it was a little bit of a breadcrumb placed down by Elon Musk. Unfortunately, MKBHD may have taken the bait, replying to this February 19th with Roadster noises. Walked right into that one, Marquez. This was literally a breadcrumb about an update on the Roadster. Yikes. So, well, we've just heard that Apple have cancelled their electric vehicle project after a decade and billions of dollars down the drain. We have this, an update on the Roadster. Let's see what the super smart people on Yahoo Finance have to say.
This is the Tesla Roadster. It was unveiled in 2017, and the company promised it would be the fastest car ever made, but it never made it to production until now, it seems. After 6 years, CEO Elon Musk saying the long-delayed electric sports car will begin shipments next year. Praz Sumaranian has the details.
I can't help laugh my way through that intro. It's coming now. It's coming now, Praz. Really?
Ha 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 ha. It's so funny. Oh my gosh. I'm laughing. Now look, in case it hasn't been extremely obvious, Tesla's always been aiming to produce compelling, affordable mass market vehicles. The Roadster was a detour, a distraction, and an extremely low priority. Rightly so. The fact that we've heard this update personally indicates to me that Tesla has now wrapped up their production systems for their next generation mass market vehicle and finally had enough time, enough cognitive space to get a few engineers to wrap this project up as well. Now, I could be wrong, but I find it extremely unlikely. If Tesla's goal was always to get to 20 plus million electric vehicles produced and sold per year, directing any resources, time, energy, money, and brains away from products that would get to that point would have been a terrible decision. So it's late AF based on Tesla's original projections, but it's also completely explicable. I would have been pissed as a Tesla investor if Tesla prioritized the Roadster over the Model 3 or the Model Y or the Cybertruck or their next-gen vehicle. The next-gen Roadster will serve two purposes. One, a massive flex on the entire industry. Rest in peace to the hypercars, the supercars, the multi-million dollar high-performance vehicles that will add inches either downstairs or height, whatever you need. They're toast. This vehicle, for a few $100,000, is going to smoke everything. So number one, it's a huge flex / smackdown / turkey slap in terms of technology. And two, it is a place for Tesla to push the absolute limits of engineering. But from a direct business point of view, it's not only a sideshow, but it's not going to be a needle mover. Now, don't get me wrong, these things will be extremely profitable, even at fairly low volumes. But total revenue and profits from the future Roadster are drop in the bucket. However, there will be an indirect effect, and that's part of the technological smackdown. When people see this shit, likely doing a very short hover via the thrusters, 0 to 60 in under a second, some of the insane performance, when people see this, it's going to break the internet in a way comparable to Cybertruck. That's going to generate a lot of interest in Tesla and likely be the equivalent of many hundreds of millions of dollars in advertising. So again, the laughing about it's coming soon, it's coming now, etc. If you have your investor hat on, you too would likely be really pissed if Tesla had have redirected resources, energy, time, money, brains away from the Model Y, the Cybertruck, and the next-gen vehicle platform to get Roadster out as fast as possible. So again, that indicates to me that they've now got the time. They finalised the manufacturing systems for the next-gen vehicle. The Cybertrucks are ramping successfully. And now this is a little project to squeeze out before, out of nowhere, they announce that production for the next-gen vehicle will be starting soon as well. Now, call me crazy, but strategically, this is actually brilliant from Tesla. There's going to be a lot of buzz. First from the Cybertruck continuing to ramp and the celebrities left, right and centre appearing, being seen in them, blah, blah, blah. And while the Cybertruck buzz continues to ramp up, no pun intended, there's now going to be a huge amount of hype over this absurd, ridiculous spaceship on wheels, the new Roadster. Meanwhile, in the background, Tesla's quietly building out their test production lines for the next-gen vehicle, and then suddenly out of almost nowhere, in my opinion, Tesla announces, oh, hey guys, we're about to start production on the next-gen vehicle. You can reserve one now. Tesla.com/ I don't even know what it's going to be called. I'm just still calling it the Tesla Q, because why not? Like shiny object over here, Cybertruck and Roadster. Meanwhile, the serious business, the platform that gets them to 20 million vehicles a year, quietly happening in stealth mode. And again, the reason for this, in my opinion, it is not, absolutely not in Tesla's best interest to announce their next-gen vehicle to the public. Now, we're investors, we're nerds, we know about this stuff, but the general public don't have a fucking clue. If Tesla were to make a major announcement, it'd be covered everywhere, right? Here's the new vehicle, next-gen vehicle, the starting price, the specs, range, performance, all this shit. If they do that, suddenly, a bunch of people who were previously going to buy a 3 or Y go, wait, why would I don't need the 3 or Y. If this thing's heaps cheaper and almost as good, I'll just wait for the next vehicle. That'd be a very bad move. So I personally think that Tesla's going to have a very, very, very short time interval between announcement and first deliveries of the next-gen vehicle. So what better circumstance to find themselves in than having two massive shining objects, the Cybertruck and the Roadster, distracting people while they're stealthily getting the next-gen vehicle production systems up and running. Anyway, please laugh more, Yahoo Finance.
Is it really coming? That's a little credulous.
He says it is, but just to rewind a little bit, 2017, right? This is 5 years ago. We saw this thing roll out at an event, and then haven't heard much since until 2022 when Musk said at the Giga Rodeo when they opened up the Austin factory that it's coming. It's going to come in 2023. Right, and they reopened reservations, and we'll talk about that. But basically now we see Musk tweeting late last night. It is coming. They basically production design is complete. They're going to unveil the car later this year, like you said, Josh, and then planning for sales next year. Now says again, a 0 to 60 time less than a second, kind of insane stuff here. But again, we heard this 2 years ago, we heard it 5 years ago. Is it actually going to come out? Deposit holders, some have put down $50,000 with no interest, right? That's refundable. I'm sorry, $5,000 refundable. Other people have put down $250,000 for the Foundation series to get that car. So.
Well, I hope they get it eventually, right? I mean, this reminds me of the Cybertruck a little bit as well, which did it sort of come out.
Yeah.
Right?
And eventually, right.
Yeah. It's interesting timing because, of course, BYD came out with its own supercar earlier this week. Is that a coincidence that we're now getting an update on the Roadster?
I wrote a piece on it's going to come out just in the next few moments. But basically, yes, I kind of allude to the fact that it's interesting that these tweets came out late last night. We talked about BYD's U9 supercar, right? It's going to cost $230,000, around the same price as potentially the Tesla Roadster. Scissor doors, 4 motors, all these pretty cool stats. But only a couple months ago, NIO also said that their EP9 hypercar is going to cost $3 million US. 1,000 horsepower, interchangeable batteries, all this sort of stuff. The Chinese supercar makers are sort of coming on strong here, and it seems like maybe Musk kind of had to cough up more details because he felt the need to, because these cars are going to come on the road later this year, the Chinese cars. So. In China, but not necessarily in the U.S. But still, competition nonetheless.
Right. If you're a Chinese buyer, are you going to wait for the Tesla Roadster, or are you going to buy one of these other ones?
I want to quickly just say something real quick. Yes, it is a $5,000 deposit, not a $50,000 deposit for.
Oh, that's a lot lower.
Yeah.
But still.
Just wanted to correct
that.
It's
not nothing.
I mean, it's interesting probably because, listen, I think that's a beautiful car. The lines on that car are beautiful to me. But I would say, like, $200,000, when you find yourself competing with, like, a Lamborghini or Ferrari, that's a small market. I mean, ultimately, that doesn't move the needle for Tesla or the EV.
The dude is spitting facts. Extremely low volume. I mean, I don't know how many units per year this thing might do. Leave your guesses in the comments below. I mean, I think initially there's going to be a surge. Once volumes ramp up, we'll probably see peak Roadster annual volume a couple of years after production begins. Then it's going to come back a little bit down towards reality. But my best guess is maybe like, call it 5,000 a year. If you're lucky, maybe 10. And I mean really lucky. So call it maybe $1 billion a year in revenue, possibly a little more. And of course, I'm just pulling these numbers out of my ass, but it ain't going to move the needle, not directly. But think about this. If you're doing $1 billion a year in revenue, let's just say you got like a 40% plus margin on that, maybe even higher. You're making a few $100 million a year in profits on a product that in and of itself is acting much like advertising with a budget of a few $100 million per year, except instead of spending that money, you're making that money selling these insane advertisements on wheels. And once again, I do want to emphasize, personally, I think it's extremely likely the only reason we're now hearing about this Roadster is because Tesla is wrapped up on more important projects. Otherwise, it'll be a silly distraction.
EV market, right? I mean, what have we talked about so much on the show? What's one way to reignite growth here? It's not the 200,000 car, and again, gorgeous car, but ultimately you need lower priced EVs, right?
Yeah, I think these are just halo cars that bring people in. Like, you know, they have the Optimus robot in some stores to kind of bring people in. Same with the Cybertruck, it's in a lot of the marquee Tesla stores to bring people in. So that's like some of the thing that kind of draws you in. But you're going to buy the Model Y or the Model 3, maybe the X or the S as your actual car. Yeah. Quickly, I want to again clarify that it's a $5,000 deposit. But then within 10 days, you got to cough up another $45,000 for a $50,000.
So it is effectively a $50,000 deposit
for a car
that people have put down.
Yes, and the car when 2017 it was said to be a $200,000 MSRP and $250K for that Founders Edition. Right. Sorry about that. Want to get that clear.
That's okay.
Glad the correction was coming. I gave him a chance because I wanted to jump in there. For the record, a lot of people ask me if I was going to get a Roadster, and my answer is probably, but there's no fucking way I'm putting down that money. I'd rather invest in Tesla stock, which is exactly what I did. If anyone wants to go and check 2017 to today, Tesla stock But those who did put down a deposit, they probably are paying a few $1 million in lost Tesla gains for this particular product. Of course, I am going to have to get one, right? It's just, I can't not. Out of interest, let me know in the comments below who's planning on purchasing Tesla's next-gen Roadster. And just wanted to again wrap up on this post from Musk. Really worth letting this one sink in. The 0 to 60 mile per hour time is less than 1 second. And that is the least interesting part. Race for impact, ladies and gentlemen. If things remain on track, we're going to see the final specs later this year, end of this year, with first deliveries in 2025. Meanwhile, again, I think Tesla's stealthily going to be low-key trying to ramp up their trial and then actual production lines for the next-gen vehicle. Don't be distracted by the shiny object. Want more content? Early access? Bunch of perks? Click the links in the pinned comment. AG1 has given me a massive, meaningful boost in energy, allowing me to do a lot more every day, including using my brain more and using my body more. I highly recommend you guys and girls check it out. It's an excellent way to fill in nutritional gaps. It's got 75 high-quality vitamins, minerals, and whole food source nutrients, plus prebiotics and probiotics and digestive enzymes and adaptogens to help you deal with stress. Plus, if you click the link in the pinned comment or head to drinkag1.com/SMR, you can get yourself a 1-year free supply of vitamin D3 and K2. But don't take my word for it. Here's what some of you guys and girls have to say. AG1 has changed my life. I was, as you described, treating myself like a circus, ate like trash, rarely exercised, used alcohol as a stress crutch, cannabis also. AG1 is what gave me the kick in the ass, got me back to the gym, motivated me to do more for myself, family, my business, etc. Keep doing what you do. Now, I know there's some skeptics, the same kind of people who think Elon Musk is a fraud, reading this going, what do you thought? There's no way that's possible, bro. It must be a placebo effect. Believe it or not, this is a recurring theme. If you give your body everything it needs to feel and perform its best, including having a lot more energy, you'll need ways to use that energy. For me personally, that includes more exercise, moving my body more social activity, and more cognitively demanding tasks, including producing a ton of exclusive content over on Twitter and on Patreon, plus my daily YouTube uploads. The proof's in the pudding. On to another testimonial from a viewer of this channel. SMR, you asked me to provide feedback on AG1. Here it is. It has helped with mental acuity, stamina, and intestinal waste management. Can't read between the lines. It certainly helps with regularity and digestion. That's what the digestive enzymes are for. It has also dramatically reduced my cravings for sugar. You guys need to stop eating sugar. It's fucking poison. I'm 50, 5'9", and overweight, aka a fat motherfucker. I think that's a technical term for overweight, isn't it? Is it fat motherfucker or obese? I can't remember. I average 100 hours a week in the West Texas oil fields as a safety supervisor. Jesus Christ, dude. No wonder you're struggling to keep your weight under control. 100 hours a week. Brutal. It has helped me lose weight. It is not an appetite suppressant. It can help fat people suppress cravings, and motivation to be healthier is critical for changing your diet. Love you, brother. Again, this is a great point. It's something people really don't seem to grasp. If you have more energy, everything becomes easier. It's like turning on easy mode for life. A few years ago, before I was taking AG1, my health was trash. I was struggling to get through the day, had afternoon fatigue. The last thing I wanted to do was either use my brain or move my body. Didn't have the energy. Now, my biggest struggle every day is figuring out ways to use that energy. I'm exercising way more, doing a lot more with my friends and family, and of course, my work output has increased substantially. And you can fact check me. Check out the average length of my videos I was posting to YouTube 3 years ago. Need I say more? And one final testimonial. Love this one. Okay, here's the deal for me with this AG1 shit. I'm 41 years old and not the type to eat, drink, smoke, or sleep healthy, so I was skeptical. That being said, here's what I experienced. Day 1, meh. Day 2, afternoon fatigue was about 45 minutes late. Day 3, 0 afternoon fatigue. Day 4, 0 afternoon fatigue plus extra energy. Day 5, again, 0 afternoon fatigue plus energy, wondering, what the fuck, really? See, this is the thing, right? The results for many people are just almost too good to be true. This is the same experience I had. My afternoon fatigue just vanished out of nowhere. I'm like, wait, what the fuck? Why am I not tired in the afternoons anymore? Surely, it's not that AG1 shit, is it? Turns out it was. Day 6 and 7, same thing. Day 8, same thing. Plus, I had the want to get things done around the house that I normally would slack off and not get done. Again, the point, extra energy, you'll need to use it, you'll find ways to use it. Day 9, 10, and 11, and today is day 12. I fucking love it. So however you managed to get me to buy it, I'm so glad you did. Thank you so much, SMR. It really changed me so far. Guys, this shit really works. Just try it. By the way, this is the reason I continue to relentlessly promote AG1. A lot of people get real fucking mad in the comments. Oh my God, snake oil salmon sold out. Oh my God, he's a scammer. This is fraud. But constantly, I'm pretty sure everyone making these comments is also currently short Tesla stock. I'm not particularly concerned about people having a negative perception, those folks suffering from small brain syndrome, still living in my bum's basement syndrome, etc., writing mean comments, claiming AG1's a scam or it doesn't work. I mean, bro, When I get feedback like this is what keeps me going. Just try this stuff for a month, and if you don't get these results, get your money back. See, it's a literal no-brainer. It's an IQ test at this point in time. Testimonial after testimonial after testimonial like this. Get your money back if it doesn't work. Just try it for a month, and if it doesn't work, get your money back. Today's the day. It's finally time. Be like this guy who was a massive skeptic, but finally, after 1,000 promotions in a row, caved in, tried AG1, and has results like this. Head to drinkag1.com/SMR or click the link in the pinned comment, and please, let me know how you're feeling in a few weeks' time. Now, if you'll excuse me, time to put my extra energy to good use. I'll be recording some more exclusive content for Patreon and my Twitter subscribers. So click the links in the pinned comment, see you over on Twitter and or Patreon, and don't forget to grab your AG1. Love ya.